Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, you're welcome to another episode of DIY Branding, and it's a content creation series that I started to teach people how to create content for their brands and not just to, and to show them how to kind of show up online properly. And the series has been going on for I think 6 weeks now. So, we are on to week 7. And today I'm going to teach people how to create content by just showing you exactly what I do and giving you a sneak peek into my own content creation process. So, thank you for joining me. If you're joining from any location, let me know your name and where you're joining from, just in case your YouTube name is different. And I would love to hear from you. Let me know how the audio sounds also, as we usually do. Let me know how the audio sounds. Are you okay with the audio? Are you hearing me correctly? Am I audible? Am I echoing? Those are the things I would like to hear from you, because the feedback you give me helps me create better content and helps me connect with you better. The aim of these whole sessions is simply to teach you how to do it yourself, hence the name DIY branding. So that's what DIY branding is about. I want to equip people with not just the planner. But basically, we're going a step further to take you behind the scenes to make you understand how we get things done. And I said how we get things done because today I will have a guest for you, and I will also be introducing a course that I am creating for content creation, because I've realized that I can't take everybody one on one. So rather than telling people to wait to 2021 or 2022 as my list keeps increasing, I have created a course that people could just start and we could work on it together. We've done sprints in the past, and a sprint content creation process is just doing everything within 3 days and creating content for 90 days. But we'll be doing something different this time around, and we'll be doing a content marathon. Hey, so great to have you on board. We'll be doing a content marathon. Now, the content marathon will simply show you how to create content in and go behind the scenes of content creation. But I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. I'll talk about the content creation course later on. But for today, I just want to know how you were doing. So Zoe is one of my VAs. She's listening from Nigeria. So Zoe, let me know how the audio is. Can you hear me clearly? Is it audible? Can you see my slides? Is everything working perfectly? As usual, we'll wait 2 minutes, then we will start. But today's session is different. Hi, Vivian. Today's session is different because I will be having a guest. Oh, the audio is perfect. That's amazing. I will be having a guest, and my guest will be showing us the meaning of authenticity. She got featured in Forbes Africa, and she'll be telling us all about it. And she works in a sector that is not so well known in Nigeria. So we'll be finding more about the sector, more about my guest, and she should join us from 4:30. But simply, she's going to talk to us about being authentic online, because every other person is taking so many times. Hi, Roland. So many times we try to be like other people and we forget that we need to be ourselves online. So how can we be ourselves online? How can we appear authentic and connect with our audience? Just to do a little bit of flashback, we've talked about creating for your brand, we've talked about promoting yourself, we've talked about creating content, what to post, and the types of content to create, especially when it comes to promotional content and value added content. In addition, for the last couple of weeks, we've also looked at creating content. The glasses are coming. Okay, Nisha said the volume is a bit low. Let me see if I can increase the volume. We've also looked at creating content for your audience. The glasses are back. I told you they're coming. We've also looked at creating content for your audience, because you're not creating for every single person. You're creating for specific people, and those are your audience. So I'm just going to try and see if I could improve the audio a little bit more, and then we will get started. All right. Audio quality is fine. Okay. Audio, use echo mode. I'm just trying to see if I can improve the audio for those that can't hear clearly so that you can hear me clearly. I want everyone to participate as much as possible. So, now just a little housekeeping. First of all, it's a very interactive session. If you have questions, put your question in the comments and then write question and the question that you have. If you have a comment to give, you could just write comments and then read your comments, write your comments out there. Then I will be able to see your comments or see your questions and participate as much as possible. Um, Nene will join us for the last 15 minutes to talk about how she has created her own brand through our blog, and she is gaining so much visibility online. Then we'll be talking about how to monetize your online presence. So I'm glad to have someone join me for the first time on DIY branding. And let me know if you want me to bring more people on board, because I do have a couple of people in mind that I feel will be very beneficial for you as an audience. But what are we going to talk about today? I said, okay, I'm going to tell you how I create content. Now, I've always said content doesn't create itself, you create it. I've given you in the past couple of weeks a content plan. But if you don't know how to use that content plan, it's impossible to create content that will get to the right people, get you seen, paid, and heard. We want to get seen by the right people. We want them to hear what we have to say about, or what we have to talk about online. Most of us want to do it to learn how to speak on stages, so we want to work on other platforms. Some of us are doing it because we want to create visibility for the products that we are selling, and some people want to write a book in a couple of months, so they're just creating their digital footprint. Whatever goals or objectives you have for content creation, you need to have a strategy that works. So for today, we're just going to be showing you how I do it, and I will be willing to answer any question. But what makes your content stand out? Let's talk about that. When you see a page or you see a page that you like, there are various things that make the content stand out, especially with Instagram. So let's focus on Instagram for now. The first thing that makes content stand out on Instagram is the design. We see a page, we're scrolling, we see the design, and then we pause. So that's the first thing that makes a person stand out, your design. How can you create content that will make somebody stop and stare? And content doesn't seem like what every other person is creating, but it's different and unique to you and your brand. So your design makes you stand out. The value you create also makes you stand out. So the mistake most of us make online is that we create a content page that is a catalog. I talk about this all the time. But what we're aiming to do is create a magazine that doesn't just show you inspiration of fashion inspiration, but adds value to you, leaves you a lot better than when you got to that page. You want your page to have that impact on people. You want your page to improve the lives of people by adding value to them. So for example, if you're a wedding planner or an MC, you're sharing tips on how to plan a wedding, what to take into consideration. Do not forget your bridesmaid. Awesome. Do not forget to talk to your bridesmaids, let your photographers know, have an order, let there be communication. So because you've had experience in this field and you've seen the errors that other brides and grooms have made, you are able to create content that would help them plan their weddings better, improving them, adding value to them, and making them better off than they were when they left your page. So you're not just saying, I'm an MC, I'm a wedding planner, but rather, I bring so much value to your party by telling you how to coordinate it also. That's a value that you make on your page. Another thing is clarity. Someone should come on your page and have clarity of who you are, what you do, and what you stand for. It should not be vague. It should not be implied. Like now, if someone comes on my page, they can clearly tell that I'm all about content creation. I'm about branding. If they go on your page, can they tell what you do? So that's what makes your content stand out. That you are clear to yourself on what you do, and you're not making assumptions. That's what we call brand clarity. Another thing that makes your content stand out, and trust me, this is very important, is the message for the right audience. If you're speaking to teachers, you're going to speak to them in a different way from if you're speaking to bankers. So the brand message you have for your brand, specifically for your brand, should be crystal clear, and it should communicate to the right people in a way they will receive it. So Pat Flynn said something last week, and he said, know the lyrics to the songs that your audience will listen to, and then make your message capture those lyrics. So for example, if I know that my audience are Sunday school teachers and they would like to listen to a song like Jesus You Love Me Too Much, I will make the content I create resonate with that message, because it's talking about the love of Jesus, and it's a simple content and a simple message that they will be able to understand. Know the lyrics of the song that your audience will listen to. Make your message, craft your message, design your message to suit those lyrics. And to me, that's, if you take anything away from this, just ensure that every point in time your design is on point. There's clarity on your brand, there's clarity about your message for the right audience, and that you are adding value. Those things make your brand stand out. And we all want brands that stand out. We do not want to be like every other person. If not, we won't be investing time on a Saturday where the weather is so nice learning about branding. So now, let's go behind the scenes a little to talk about my content creation process. But remember what I said. If at any time you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Just write your message in the comments, and I will definitely answer them. And if you want me to use your brand as an example, it could be a brand you represent, a brand that you own, or a brand that you like. If you want me to use your brand as an example for anything I am talking about, then let me know and just tell me use my brand, and I will use your brand as an example. Because I think it always helps when we get the audience involved, get their brands involved, and create something that they will understand clearly. All right, what's my content creation process? Now, my content creation process is quite simple. I know when you see this, you'll be like, is it really simple? Yes, it is very simple. I go through all these stages when it comes to content creation. First of all, I get a content strategy. From the strategy I have derived, I get an editorial calendar. From that, I have a plan. The plan will basically be, then I research, I create, I publish, I engage, I promote, then I audit back to my content strategy. So I'm going to go through all this one after the other, so do not be worried. I will go through all this one after the other. So the process is simply this: plan, research, create, publish, engage, promote, audit, back to content strategy. Because the plan is based on your content strategy. You create a plan of what you want to research on. You research, you design what has already been researched before you publish it. And when you publish it, you don't just publish it and then leave it somewhere else. You publish it, then you go out there and engage with people so that they can engage with your own content. Then you promote it also. Oh, I have a new post, go and check it. So you promote on other platforms. But then you audit after doing that before you go back to your content strategy. So your content strategy is not something that you get. Oh, you can't read chats from participants. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you could. All right, let's rectify that. It's showing on the screen. Okay. Can you read chats from other participants on the screen now? Can you read chats from other participants on the screen? Hi, Ola, BC. BC, can you see the chats on the screen? Okay, so we try to put this chats what people are saying on the screen so that we can all participate and focus on just what's on the screen. If there's any question that is asked, then I will pin that to the screen so you can see everything clearly. But if you can read the chat, let me know. If you can't, let me know, then I will try my best to rectify it. So let's start with your content strategy. Now, the content strategy is the content, it's a combination of your marketing plan, your promotion plan, and your value added plan. So I always create a strategy that takes the whole brand into consideration. And we've talked a little bit about the content strategy at in the past few weeks when I talked about what you are creating. Your content strategy takes a couple of things into consideration. It takes your brand, it takes the audience, and then the content you create for the audience. So fantastic. So your content strategy will take, hey Folakemi, your content strategy will take your brand, your audience, and your content. So rather than having so much notes on the screen today, I'm going to be doing a lot more talking. Now, why do we need a content strategy? You need a content strategy because your brand doesn't exist just for the fun of it. Your brand exists for a certain reason. You want to make people understand what that reason is, why you exist, and what you do. So when you set goals for your brand and you know why you exist, you know the audience you want to reach, you bring that all into a strategy that you must implement and make reference to. So the following things that you can take into consideration when you are creating for your brand. So you can say, okay, my brand is an MC company. We want to be able to cater for a specific audience. So the strategy you are creating will take into consideration the fact that you have to promote what you do, one, you have to add value to people, two, and you have to create awareness for other industries. Fantastic. Of what is going on in your industry. So your content strategy is a combination of all these things that you do to put your brand on the map. Your goals, your objectives, your vision for your brand, your message, every single little bit comes into your content strategy. And I'll be sharing more about the content strategy during the content marathon course I mentioned earlier. I mentioned earlier that I'm finally coming up with a little course that I believe will be helpful for people because it brings everything together. But just take this. If you don't have a content strategy, you should DM me. You need a content strategy. Your content should not just come up because, oh, I need to post something today, let me just post something. No, every single post you put out on your page, I repeat, every single post you put out on your page plays a role. With branding and content creation, you have an opportunity to tell your story on your own terms. You are not waiting for others to tell you what to do. Rather, you are telling them what you do on your own terms without compromising on your own safety. So you determine what you post, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't plan. So your content strategy is a combination of all the things your brand intends to do for the year, all the content your brand intends to do for the year, all the products and projects you are involved in, and what you want people to know about your brand. It also has to do with the value you intend to bring to the market. So, for example, if for the year 2021, because we're going to be working on our 2020/2021 strategies during the marathon, if for 2021 you want to speak on stages, you want to book more sessions with clients, or you want to sell more, or you want to MC more events, that's part of your brand strategy. You then have to determine how you want to achieve that. That's where your marketing strategy comes in. How do you want to market yourself? How do you want to promote yourself? How do you want to get seen by others? It may have to do with getting feedback from others on what you've done. You may need to create a Facebook page. You may need to create a website. But whatever you do, do not think that, oh, the emails I'm sending to my clients are different from my content strategy. They all work together. So let's put this in one neat part sentence. Your content strategy encompasses every single thing you plan to do for your brand online. It is not limited to your social media. It also constitutes what you will send out to your clients via newsletters, emails. It will comprise of what products and services you are going to offer. It will also comprise of the blog posts that you write, the videos you shoot. Every single thing your brand does has to be part of your strategy. You could have a separate strategy for each platform because every platform is different, but the content strategy itself is for all the strategies, all the platforms that you are on. and it should include what you do offline and what you do online. Okay, all right. Any questions on your content strategy before we move to your planning? So, content strategy is your plan is part of your content strategy. Your content strategy is just call it the blueprint for your brand, and then the plan is part of the blueprint. So every brand calls it something different. You could choose to name it something different. You can decide to call it your content plan. From your content strategy, you come up with a couple of things. You come up with your editorial calendar, you come up with your weekly schedule. So your editorial calendar is now saying, okay, based on this strategy, this is what I will post. Based on this strategy, this is the plan I have. So your strategy determines your plan, but your plan is part of your strategy. Okay. And that brings us to the next one, planning. So now, when you have a strategy, your strategy doesn't implement itself. You need to have a plan on how to execute your strategy. And so many times people use different things. What I say is, once you have your strategy, the first thing I always say is think on paper. Think on paper. The very first thing you do is think on paper. Understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Have a system that you should be able to retrieve information easily and communicate this to every single person on your team. So now, for example, I plan with a couple of things. I plan with Trello. I plan with Google Docs. And most of you that work with me, I always start you off on Google Docs. Then we use Google Drive or Dropbox to store information, because now your plan is saying, okay, I need pictures, I need videos to create the content I want to create. I need to say, okay, I am coming up with a couple of other things. So now when it comes to planning, I'm going to share with you a content flow plan that I have created before so that you can see it properly. Can you see my Trello? Or are you still seeing my screen? You're still seeing my screen. I'm going to change screens for now and move somewhere else so you can see something else that I am working with. And that is current application. No, it's not showing. All right, so I'm going to show you my Trello board, and that is something that I work with. Now, when you are creating your content plan, you have to understand that there are so many ways to do it, but you think about how can people retrieve the information that I have given them, because there's no need putting information somewhere and then nobody can retrieve it. So part of your plan is determining what your team will work with or what you will work with. You start first of all with thinking on paper and strategizing and bringing everything out of your head onto paper. Then you use a platform like Trello. Now with Trello is an amazing platform because it gives you an opportunity to categorize things into different stages. So my Trello board, I can have plan, research, and all the other things I have mentioned. And on my Trello board, I can have for plan, have other parts that I do when it comes to planning. So my Trello board is not coming up. If it comes up before the end of the session, then I will definitely show you. Can you see my Trello board now? Can you see my Trello board? Yes. Could you see my Trello board before? If you can see the Trello board, let me know so that we can. If we can't see it, then I will show you my Trello board during next week's session. But Trello is something that I use frequently, and I'm thinking of bringing back for my team because it does work. It is a good way to connect your content. You can still see my screen. Also, okay, then let's just forget about the Trello board for today. But a Trello board is simply a board that you can use to create content. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of my Trello board and then I will show you the screenshots if you can't see the board itself. Can you see the Trello board now? All right, so I'm going to show you my Trello board in a few seconds. We're just going to do this simply. So what we're doing now is just simply showing you how to use a Trello board and what you can get from it. So basically, I create content in stages, and what I do is I simply go to my desktop and then I pick up what I want to pick up. And for now, it's my Trello board that I want to show you, since you can't view it. Or you could see the Trello board before. All right, then let me go back to Trello. If you could see the board, then let me just go back to Trello. All right, so for example, this is my Trello board for a specific thing. So when it comes to creating content, I have it in different stages. So this is for a digital product. For my development stage, I will have something: production stage, promotion, marketing strategy. All these stages have little bits and pieces that we can use. And I will just show you my Trello board in full so that you see what we do when it comes to a certain product. So for every month, when it comes to planning my content, I will have the focus for the month, content theme, report, constant things that I always use, and giveaways. And then I move things from one place to the other. So this is one way you can use Trello. Trello can be used in any way that suits your brand. But what I will do is I will create a Trello board with my stages. If people want me to do that, let me know in the comments. I will create a Trello board with my stages that talks about content strategy, promotion, and tell you what I do in each stage. And you can easily just download it by tomorrow. If you want me to do that for content strategy itself, then I can do that for you. But basically, I go onto Trello and I plan on Trello. If it's a product promotion, I will plan for that product promotion. If it's just for content strategy, I plan. If it's for Instagram, I plan. And what do I plan on my Trello board? I put a part for research. We talked a lot about research last week. Now, when it comes to researching, I always say the last thing you do is to design. You wait before you design or you create your content. Don't be in a hurry to go on Canva to start drawing up a design. Think about what you want to do. Do your research first. So from your plan, you have a content plan. Hi, Laura. You have a content plan. You have a content plan first. Then from your plan, you bring a research out to say, okay, this is what I want to research on. So if somebody gives me a topic, we can try to go and research the person's topic. We'll use only 2 minutes on that, because last week we talked a lot about research. But I will just give a summary of what we said we would do with research. Now, for instance, with research, if I want to find out what people that write on vision board are writing about, I will go on Amazon. I will look into Amazon books and see the books on vision board. That will give me ideas of topics I can write on. I go on YouTube, look at videos that people have done on vision board. That will give me ideas of topics to write on. Then I'll be able to see, okay, what kind of content are people responding to? By going into places like Reddit and Quora, I can see conversations people are having on the importance of vision boards or goals. You need to do your research before you start writing. Don't just say, oh, I have an interesting topic. Do you know how people will respond to your topic? Do you know the information out there already? I don't start writing until I do my research. And you can use either of these platforms to do your research. You must not use all. With Google, you're searching search engines. With Amazon, you're looking into books. With Pinterest, now Pinterest is a search engine. Please, if you have a blog, if you're doing interior decoration, if you're doing anything on branding, weddings, or anything, you need Pinterest. You need Pinterest, and you need to start creating your pins. Now, what do you do with Pinterest? With Pinterest, you see what people have already created and designed, and you get inspiration. Remember, we do not copy and paste, we get inspiration. That's our tagline. DIY branding, we don't copy and paste, we get inspiration. You get inspiration from Pinterest to see what you can do, what information is out there, what people are likely to download or pin. You want to create pins that people can easily pin. With Reddit, you are looking for conversation starters, conversations that people are having regarding the topic. With YouTube, you're looking at content that has been created regarding the topic. So they're all different. YouTube content. Zoe, help me write the differences in the comment section so that people can follow through. YouTube, you're looking for content that has been created. Twitter, Reddit, and Quora, you're looking at conversations that have started. Pinterest, you're looking at designs people have made. Amazon, you're looking at what people have written. YouTube and Amazon go together because one is what people have, videos people have created. The other is what people have written. So why is it important to do research? I'm sure you'll be wondering, why can't I just go ahead and create content? No, because there's nothing new under the sun. You want to understand what's been done before so you can create something that is unique and different and look at it from a different perspective. Why do you think that sometimes you have an idea and you think you're the only one that has that idea? You go out and see other people have the same idea that you have. How do you now make your idea different from every single person that is out there? We're not creating content to blend in. We are creating content to stand out, to get noticed, to get people to patronize us, to follow us, to not just to follow us because we say, oh, we have 10,000 followers. But it's better to have 1,000 loyal followers than have 10,000 people that just follow you for following's sake. You want people that will interact with your content. And then, most importantly, you want to add value to the people that you are creating for. You want to add value to the people that you are creating for. One way to find out if your content would have value is to find out what they are researching. And there's one website I intentionally omitted here because I want people that listened last week to tell me what that website is. What website do you go to that will answer the questions or tell you questions people are researching for? If you remember what it is, leave it in the comment section and then I will come back and give reference to you or use your brand as an example, or you could read something you have no idea. But what website did I go on last week that gave us limited search, but you can use to find out what questions people are asking? What questions are the public? I'm giving the answer away, but I'm sure you get what I mean if you listened last week. But simply, that's what we're simply trying to do. Before you start designing anything, do your research and come up with your notes. Once you do your research, come up with your notes. Don't just do your research and then go ahead to start creating. No. Your research leads you to the notes that you will create. Create your notes from your research. Then from your notes, you go ahead and fantastic. Zoe got it. Answer the public. Yes, Answer the Public is a good website to go to when you are thinking, what are people looking for when it comes to interior decoration? What are the basic things to look for when for an interior to design for a student flat? Or what are people searching for? What type of content are people searching for now? So people are going back to school, so they're searching for how to set up their dorms. So if you create content that will teach them how to make their little place look larger and more comfortable, you are responding to the needs of people and creating content that they need, not content that you want them to need. Because there's a difference between what they want and what they need. They need something. So you need to ensure you understand what your audience need and create it for them. So now we move to the next stage, which is to create, which is what most of us do. Most of us just think, oh, I have a content plan, let me start creating. So most of us are already amazing when it comes to this. But we can get a lot better because we've gotten inspiration, we've gotten ideas, we've gotten lovely things from searching and finding out what others are doing. Facebook communities, you see what questions people are asking. And when you're doing your research, let me just mention this. When you're doing your research in the Facebook community, that's what I call social listening. You're listening more than you're asking. Sometimes we go into a community and we just want people to, oh, I sell this, I sell this, I sell this, I sell this. You get blocked. Why? Community is about adding value to each other. So if you can observe first and say, what are the needs of people in this community? How can I inspire them? How can I add value to them? Before you go about plugging or hyping yourself. Sometimes you don't need to hype yourself because you've added value and formed relationships. The owners of the community will be like, oh, Laura has a course that she's bringing up. You guys need to be part of it. So think about the value you can give. And I think I want to use one Saturday to talk about value completely. But now let's talk about creating. When it comes to creating, everybody does it in different ways. But most people use Canva. I use a combination of Photoshop. I don't use Photoshop. I use Canva. Canva is amazing when it comes to creating your design. What I try to do is craft my design on paper first. Say, okay, this is what I want to talk about. This is the goal I want to reach before I go on Canva to design. So I design separately from writing. Now, writing is where you write your caption or your blog post. Then you have to determine the images that you use. So that's why I have a file. Create a filing system that works for you. You must not have a rigorous filing system. Keep it simple. You know that when you're designing, you go to your file, you save on your file or you download it, then you write your caption. You can actually write your caption in your design. So I'm just going to scroll back up to show you something quickly with that Canva does. So when I was creating my post, I wrote my caption here. So if you look up here where you see notes, so when I am designing on Canva, after I design, I go ahead and write my notes here. So that becomes my caption that I can easily use. So I'm doing everything on one platform. Some people prefer to use Google Docs or Microsoft Word because it gives you an opportunity to do a spell check or to do other things. Feel free to do what works for you. I like using Canva because it gives me everything under one spot. I don't need to run and open another window. I have everything I need to create my content in one place. But all I say is, you don't have to make it complex. I've tried my best to simplify it for you. Create after you've done your research and taking your notes. Maybe we should put another stage that says notes, because I know I do notes. So you remember that when you create, you make your notes so you know what we are doing, what you are doing, what you are designing, what you are planning, what you are writing. All right, let's move forward. After you've designed it, now it's time to hit publish. Some people create amazing designs and never publish. I'm guilty of that. I have like up to 10-15 videos that I have shot in the past couple of years that I have never published. I just keep filming and then I don't publish. If you don't publish, you don't learn. Learn to publish your content. Learn to put it out there. What's the worst that can happen? If it's good, it's received. You'll be able to gauge people's attention and see what people are responding to and review, go back to the drawing board and start all over again if you have to. But you need to put yourself out there intentionally. You do not leave it to accident. You have to put yourself out there. When Nena comes on board, she'll be telling us how publishing a blog post that she felt nobody was going to see got her on Forbes Africa. She did not know anybody in Forbes. Forbes reached out to her. She thought it was a joke. She thought it was a scam at first. But they reached out to her through her blog post. A blog post she wrote about a topic she will tell us about when she comes on board. She should be joining us in a couple of minutes. But she published something authentic that was true to herself. Let's stop sleeping on our talents and start publishing. What is that blog post that you need to write? Don't wait till if you want to write a book, start with a blog post. Don't wait till the day you are ready to publish your book. If you want to start with a journal, start with a page. Sometimes we wait for it to accumulate before we do something. Create designs and publish them. create and publish. Don't move from create to file, or create to trash, or create to delete. Mm-mm. Create, publish. If you're not good at graphics, then practice and publish. You can keep your page private at first, but be publishing. Be putting it out there. Let your family and friends see. If you're not ready for the whole world to see it, let someone see it. Put it out there for the world to see. But do not sit on your talent. The Bible says a candle, you can't light a candle and put it under your bed. You have to put it out there. So you've lit that candle of your creativity, and then you just want nobody else to see it. We're moving away from that. Now, another problem people have when it comes to publishing content is this: they don't want to publish every day because it's time consuming to remember to hit publish every single day. Because all the stages I'm giving you, you are planning your content for a week. I forgot to mention that you're not doing this every single day. You can do your research once a month, you can do your research once a week. You must not do this every single day. So for instance, I do my research and I do my every other thing once or twice a month. I then have a plan. From my plan, I then start creating and designing. Then I publish. Something you can do is also schedule your post. There are many apps that you can use, but unfortunately, all these apps are paid for. So I did not want to. Most of the resources I have put out here are free resources you don't have to pay for. So I've stuck to the free ones that you don't need to pay for. But if you need a list of apps you can use to publish your post, look at Later, look at Planoli, look at Buffer. My team uses Buffer. There is Pobla. Pobla is a bit more technical. It's very technical. It's not as straightforward as Buffer and the rest. But what this does is it enables you plan your content in advance. And this is what I am suggesting to every single person. This week, let us use this week to plan our content for next week. So even if you are not posting this week, one day we will say, okay, today is our research day. Let everybody go and research. Today is strategy day. Everybody look at your content strategy. Draw up your content plan. So you're doing one task every day. One simple task every day. And when it comes to scheduling your post, you just schedule your post in advance. That'll be my advice. Because it's not every day you remember to post and you want to show up online. And we mentioned this before. You don't need to post every day to be relevant. You want to ensure that you are just showing up consistently. Consistency could be 3 times a week. So if you've decided in your plan and in your strategy that I want to show up 3 times a week on my feed on Instagram, then everybody knows that on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, we get a post from you. So you need to choose. Do you prefer showing up daily or a couple of times in a week? The ball is in your court. The summary is simply this: ensure you show up consistently. But you can show up consistently by, first of all, having a strategy, having a plan, implementing your plan. It's not good enough to have a plan and then you don't implement it. You must implement your plan. Implement your plan and then publish it, schedule it, do whichever one works for you. Now, there's a part we all miss, and that is engagement. Engagement is responding to comments people make on your post. It's responding to questions people are asking. It's appreciating people for liking your post. It's appreciating people for following you. That builds engagement. But it's a lot more than that. Engagement can also simply be engaging with people before you post. Now, there's a rule that many people have on Instagram that I think we're going to start following as a team. And it's this: before you know your post has been scheduled to go out at 9 a.m., for example, by 8:30, between 8:30 and 8 and 9 o'clock, you start going on Instagram pages of your active followers, of industry leaders, and of other people, and making comments on their pages. So by the time they come back to check your page, you have a new post that they will engage with. Engagement brings engagement. If you don't engage with others, they will not engage with you. So let's start engaging with people much more. Let's start putting ourselves out there. Let's stop over shielding ourselves when it comes to content and creation. Remember, we are on social media. Most of the times, I am also guilty of this. We take the social out of social media. We fail to interact with people. We fail to see someone's post that we like and we do not like it. We just say, this post is nice and we move on. We fail to engage with other people's content. We just keep doing things that we we expect engagement from others. We do not give engagement to others. Let me put it that way. We expect engagement from others. We do not give engagement to others. Wouldn't it be nice if we give engagement so that we receive engagement? So, in order to receive engagement from people, create posts that will bring about engagement, and we'll talk all about that during the marathon. But also be active and engage with people. Now, promotion is important. Sometimes, oh, Nina is calling me. Awesome. All right, so let's see if she is on board. Hi, Nina. Hello. 1 second, please. Let me just have you here. Hello. How are you? Can everyone hear Nina?
I'm fine, and you?
Welcome on board. Welcome on board. So, we were just talking about
Hello,
promoting
everyone. Can you hear me?
yourself. Okay, so I'm asking them now. Can you all hear Nina? Um,
Am I loud and clear?
I think so. I think you're loud and clear. I think you're loud and clear.
DK, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, but I'm just wondering if everyone else can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear, but let me see if the others can hear you. If you can
Okay,
hear my guest,
hope we
oh,
can.
you were frozen before. Do you know? I actually thought you said your audio is not so clear. Oh, let me see what I can do from my end. Just bear with me a second, and we. Oh,
Oh,
audio is not clear.
okay.
All right, let's see what we can do from here. Audio. All right, how's the sound now? Is the sound better? Because now I've put it that there are two audio channels so that all the audio is
Hello,
fine. All right,
hello.
let's try speaking again. Let's see if they can hear you.
Okay.
Just introduce yourself or say something. I know we'll go back to this later.
Hello again. I'm here with you, my friend.
This is the extrovert that has been allowed an introvert's guide. So, all right, it's good to have you on board. It's good to have you on board. Can you all hear her now? How is the audio?
Thank you.
The sound isn't great. Oh,
Okay, someone said yes, they can. Roland can hear me. Yippee.
okay, perfect.
Nisha can hear me. Whoopee.
That's
Oh,
perfect.
Nisha said it's not great.
Yeah,
Oh.
but this is getting better. So let's see if it gets better and then we can say, because what I brought you on board to do was to talk about authenticity. We're talking about planning content and everything is theoretical. What we'll be talking about has been theories mostly. But
Mm,
I felt that it would be great to come on board and talk to people about being your authentic self online
mm.
and not trying to be like every other person, because every other person is taken. And then share your experience of how you got featured on Forbes, because everybody wants to get featured some and things like that. Let's see if they said it's clearer now. Perfect. So welcome on board, Nene. How
Yeah.
are you? I can hear you now. Awesome.
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. So today we're talking about content creation, and I was looking at ways we could remain authentic online. And I felt that you were a good fit for this topic because you're one of the most authentic people I know when it comes to content creation. So I felt that, you know what, it's just nice for us
Oh,
to have you come and talk about how you were able to promote yourself because now the topic we're talking about is promotion. How you were able to promote yourself online consistently, and what happened to you. So please tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
All right, so my name is Nena Fakoya Smith. I am a tourism entrepreneur. I help tourism businesses create visibility and sustainability for their brand. So basically, what I do, I'm all about promoting tourism destinations and trying to help tourism. Please, guys, give me a second. My daughter is making noise. Let me move somewhere else. The life of a
Are part
human
of
being.
the
This is our
conversation.
new normal.
Yes, the children are part of the conversation, so we understand. They're
All right.
part
So, like I was saying,
so yeah, basically
it's about being authentic, Abby. So let's be authentic about this
being
thing. All right.
authentic.
So I help tourism entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I help tourism entrepreneurs create visibility. Entrepreneurs, tourism business owners create visibility and sustainability for their brand.
Okay.
So for me, I don't know if you want me to start telling my Forbes story, how I got featured on Forbes,
Okay, let's start with that.
or do you
How
want
did
to
you
tell about? Can I go ahead?
Yes, please. How did you get featured on Forbes? We'll talk about that and then we'll talk about authenticity because I'm sure everybody wants to hear how you got featured on Forbes.
All right, so let me share the story. So one of my hobbies is collecting postcards, stamps, banknotes, and coins. It's something I took from my father. So we call ourselves the collectors. So I collect stamps, postcards, coins. So normally I like to host events to celebrate World Post Day. World Post Day is on October 1st, on Nigeria's Independence Day. So normally, apart from celebrating Nigeria's Independence Day, I celebrate World Post Day because it's all about postcards, stamps, and coins. So I've been fortunate enough to organize two events on post collecting. And during Social Media Week Lagos, it's an international platform where they had the Lagos version. So I hosted one on stamp collectors, and I hosted one on postcards, and I got nine posts. That's the Nigerian Postal Office to attend the events, and post collectors that are like me, who are old generation, but people also want to come up. So I'm always keep writing my blog. I do a blog. I did a blog write up of every event. Anything has to do with postcards, I write it on my blog. I share it on my social media to find people who are like me that like all those kind of things. So one day I posted something on Instagram, and a lady entered my post and said, "Hi, my name is so so so. I'm from Forbes Africa. Would like to feature you." Now, normally I don't like it when people come to my post to say I should send them an email or stuff like that. So I was like, maybe this is another scam. I let it go. I posted something else again that same day. The lady came to my post again. I said, "Hi, my name is so so so. Would like to feature in your Forbes. Here's my email. Please contact me." I was like, this one is someone that sent me again. Let me just find out. So I went to check her out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I just wanted to be sure that she was legit. So when I was okay with it, I sent her an email and she sent me back with details about what they wanted to do. They wanted to do African collectors and they wanted to feature me. So after everything, I got featured on Forbes Africa in November last year. And I asked her one question. I said, "How did you find me? Because I don't know. How did you look for me?" She said, "I went to Google. I typed out African collectors and your name popped up." I was like, "Oh my goodness." So that means all these things I've been posting, all these things I've been sharing on social media, like on my social media handle, I have Slam, I have a hashtag, or I have my bio there. I indicate I'm a collector of postcards and all those kind of things. On my website, I'm always writing about it. So I was just being my authentic self, sharing something that I'm passionate about, and it relates with travel and tourism because when you travel, you collect money, you collect postcards, you collect coins. So it's something that I was passionate about, and I was writing about it with my whole heart, not caring that anybody was reading it. But the truth is, I knew that a few people who were interested were actually reading it. And lo and behold, Forbes Africa was looking for someone who does what I was doing, collecting stamps and postcards. And they found me through my blog just by Googling African collectors. And that's it. So my content appeared to them, and they were able to see, okay, this person is someone who's collecting something. Let's reach out to her. And That's how the story ends.
Awesome. The story still continues because you're still doing amazing things when it comes to the tourism sector. And I like what you've done for yourself, that you've created a niche for yourself. You've branded the tourism sector in a way that many people did not think was possible. Because when I told someone, oh, I know someone that works in,
Yeah.
it's like, tourism sector in Nigeria, does it even exist? When people ask you that question as someone that is passionate about tourism, why did you get so invested in talking about tourism in Nigeria specifically?
Okay, so fortunately for me, during my final year in university, I did my final year project on tourism development in Nigeria. So it was something that I love traveling and exploring culture. It's just something that I was born with. I love to explore. I remember having a book that had to talk about culture when I was young. So traveling and tourism has been there, but I didn't see it as tourism. It was just travel and culture. So when I did my my final year project on tourism development, I was shocked to find out that every state in Nigeria, yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
you asked the question.
No, no, I didn't ask a question. I was listening to you. You said you did your final year.
Okay, so I found that every state in Nigeria. Yes, so I found out that every state in Nigeria had not just one, not just two, but about 3 to 4 tourist sites. I was like, why is Nigeria not utilizing these tourist sites? I mean, when I travel to a country, the first thing I want to do is explore their tourist destinations. Why are we not doing the same thing? So from there, that's when I knew that, okay, fine, I wanted to enter the tourism space and in my own quarter, find out how I can create the development. So 8 years after NYSC, I've been fortunate to start my own tourism business where I focus on more of promotion, like more of using digital marketing, helping tourism business create visibility and sustainability. Because most people think you can't make money in the tourism space. You can, but there's a lot of back end behind it. So that's where I come in to teach you how you can promote and create visibility and sustainability from your business. So that's it. I've been passionate about traveling, culture. So I just wove everything together into the tourism space and found how I could be of help. Because if you call me now and say you want to go to a tour on a tour trip, I should package a tour for you. I can't do it. It's not what I'm passionate. I don't package tours, but I can link you to the right people because I have the connections and the network, and they can work based on your budget. So that's why you come to me. But I decided to focus more on helping tourism businesses build their business online and also offer them business consultation and how to create sustainability from it. So that's where my own niche is.
Awesome. And I think recently you've gotten some partnerships with some tourism boards in Nigeria just because of your consistency on promoting tourism. And I think it shows your authentic self. So why do you think being authentic is important online? So that everyone listening can learn from you.
Being being authentic, you can't be like everybody. When you're like everybody, nobody really notices you. You have to do something different to make you stand out from the crowd. Now the tourism space is getting really filled up now. People are seeing the viability of the industry. And everybody is entering as a tour operator or a travel agent or what else, a ticket buyer. What can you do differently? So for me, I knew that okay, these are the things I wasn't interested in. But I knew that in my own little quarter, I could actually add something to tourism development in my space. So because I've been consistent about putting out information about tourism development, tourism promotion, I host events like tourism virtual summits and online conference where I bring tourism experts in the space to talk about the potentials of the industry, the development. And I host like workshops where I bring people who are experts in the space to teach those who want to start their own tourism business how to go about it. So I'm more of I try to focus on the tourism education part because a lot of people in the industry don't really know what they're doing. And because we don't really have a structure that shows you how you can make money from the tourism space. I decided to come into that area to work with people who are being experts and been working really hard and doing well in the industry to teach other people. So that's what I've been doing. So far, recently I've had like 2 or 3 associations, tourism associations, reach out to me, asking me to be their publicity secretary. And it was really humbling because it shows that they are seeing what I'm doing, where I'm promoting not just businesses and destinations, but tourism businesses and trying to create that space for them to be visible and to create sustainability.
Awesome. Because now I think what you can learn from what Nene has said is this: people are reaching out to her because she put herself out there. If you do not put yourself out there, no one folks will never have reached you for the notes and postcards. And the tourism organizations that are asking you to come on their board will not have reached out to you to know what you do, because some of us are quite gifted. We're talented. What will you say to someone that says, okay, I know I am good at certain things, but nobody is interested? What will you tell them to do?
My advice, keep putting content out there. I have felt there were times that I have felt like nobody's seeing what I'm doing. But I just keep putting it out there because I am passionate about it. And the truth is that when you keep putting content out there, it stays, especially on digital space. Your information will always be there. Somebody something will be looking for something and they will find you. So just keep putting out the content on social media, on your website, your blog, anywhere you know that one day someone can find it. In 10 years' time, I, the things I've been blogging about, I've been blogging for 7 years, guys. Almost no, it's almost 8, 9 years now. And somebody found content that I did like 2 years ago, just last year, and reached out to me because it's content I've been putting out there. Okay, so just keep putting it out there, especially if you're passionate about it. The right person will find you.
Mm.
It can be painful that you're writing with your hand, no one is reading it or liking it or sharing it. It can be painful, but keep putting it out there because at the end of the day, the people that really need what you're offering
Mm-hmm.
will find. Yeah, so
I agree. I love that. I think we're going to go on Instagram in like 5 minutes. I will join you on 5 minutes then. But does anybody have questions for Nene regarding this? And you said something about we're waiting for people to ask their questions. Don't care if nobody is reading it. Just keep doing it. And there's something else you discovered. First of all, it started with a dissertation. Then it moved into you were doing research. You were putting yourself out there. You were applying the knowledge you were gaining. And by applying the knowledge
yeah,
you were gaining, you were learning more. So sometimes we
yeah,
stay stagnant because we have not even applied the knowledge we've gained. We're holding on to the knowledge we've gained. We're
yes,
passionate about something and we hold on to it so much. But we fail to realize that once we open up and let go, our hands are freer to receive more and our minds are freer to even accumulate much more information. So that's why I love your story. And I said, you know what? This lady
yeah.
is coming on board and we need to talk about the program that you are running. So I know you're running a program now for not just people in the tourism industry, but using your authenticity, you've gathered a couple of coaches together. Do you want to share more about it?
Yeah, sure. So I'm hosting a tourism virtual summit. It's an online conference for tourism entrepreneurs. So this year's theme is tourism digital marketing. The idea is to ensure that the tourism businesses are creating visibility for their brand and using digital platforms. Like with COVID-19 has shown us that. COVID-19 has shown, sorry guys, please enjoy. COVID-19 has shown us that we need digital platforms to be able to create visibility for our brand. So definitely, this is being authentic or authenticity. So there, so online conference for those who want to create visibility for their brand and attract the ideal audience. And for me to do that, digital platforms is the way. Especially during this COVID-19 period, has shown us that the digital platforms are here to stay
Mm,
and the digital world is here to help us build our businesses. So it's for tourism entrepreneurs. Even though it's tourism entrepreneurs, anybody in any industry can actually attend the conference. It's free. It's a free event. You can go to www.tourismvirtualsummit.com to register for free.
uh,
And I hope to see you there.
and then you could put the link to it in the comment section so anybody that wants to register can register for it. But it's amazing. I'm also part of one of the people that contributed, the experts that put their own tips.
All right, I'll
If you
do.
want to learn more about it, I think you have Victor Bassi, you have quite a couple of people that are quite knowledgeable about digital marketing. So this is not just about tourism.
Yeah,
If you want to scale your business in the post-COVID era, because we're still in the COVID era, no one knows what's happening yet, but you still need to make yourself appear online digitally.
yeah,
This is what the summit does for you. She's not the only one speaking on the summit. She got a couple of other people. You have one of my favorite travel people, Fumi, on board, and a couple of other people that I believe that we can learn from. Knowledge is important. We need to learn how to observe what other people have done and learn from them. There's no need reinventing the wheel all the time. So that's what I love about this package we've done. And I'm sure I will see you on Instagram in a couple of minutes. I think we're going live on Instagram in 5 minutes. So do you have any last words for everybody?
Guys, just keep putting your content out there. Don't feel bad. No one's reading it. Somebody will find it one day. Just keep putting that content. Strategically put it out there on your blogs, on your website. And I'm telling you, when someone needs what you're offering, they will find you.
Awesome.
I'm experienced. I'm
Awesome. I like that when someone needs what you're creating, they will find you. Don't stop creating. Keep on creating. Keep on posting. And we just want to say thank you so much, Nina, for joining us today. I will join you in a couple of minutes on Instagram. Let me just say bye to everyone here and we'll catch up soon.
okay.
All right, then. All right.
All right. See
Bye.
you soon then.
Okay, see you soon. Bye. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. So we've had Nina speak to you about your content. And I think it's amazing when we get people show us from their own experience what they've done so that we can learn. Because sometimes we think it's just by doing the theory. I brought her on board because she was going to give us an authentic approach towards what we were looking at, which is content creation. So although we're looking at content creation from one perspective, we're looking at it knowing that people are, I'm trying to close the screen. We're looking at it knowing from that people are doing it and they are gaining something. We can also gain something if we are consistent and if we put ourselves out there. I think it's amazing when we realize that by being consistent we can get results. Now, this is one thing I want to talk to you about when it comes to social media and when we talk about auditing. Sorry that we went further than we anticipated, but it's about understanding that you have to be consistent. You have to start somewhere, start small. You have to be patient with yourself. Audit yourself, and that goes to the next thing that we're doing. Audit yourself, find out what you're putting out there, keep on improving yourself, keep on learning. You don't just put content out there, then leave it alone. You go and audit the content. Auditing doesn't mean deleting. Auditing could be, what can I do to improve this content? When you're doing your research, you're seeing what other people in your industry are doing, because we're going to get to a topic where we talk about competition analysis. Your competition that you are looking at, we're looking at it from three tiers. You're looking at people that are far above you in your industry. So if I'm doing competition analysis for the course I'm creating, I'll be looking at Pat Flynn or Marifolio. I'm not going to be looking at somebody that is on my level because I'm trying to inspire to be better. So who are the people you inspire to be in your industry? Look at what they are doing and learn from them. Audit yourself, but do not be afraid to start small. Do not be afraid to start small. Start, be consistent. Sometimes we start and stop. We start doing YouTube videos, we stop. We start posting on Instagram, oh, nobody is responding, and no one likes my post, you stop. Keep on doing what you're doing. By auditing your post, you say, okay, what keywords can I use last time? There's something Lena did. She used keywords that could make people find her by using the words about words like African stamp collectors. When they were searching for that for African collectors, they found her. If she did not use that word, they wouldn't have found her. So find out the keywords in your industry that you can use to make yourself more visible. Do your research. It's not enough to create content and then just go, but you need to remember a couple of things. And the first one is that content will not create itself. You have to create it. Content doesn't create itself. No matter how we pray for content to come, we can pray from now till tomorrow. Content will not create itself. You have to create it. How do you create content? By looking at the strategies that will work for you. Looking at coming up with a strategy plan, coming up with an editorial plan after your strategy plan, coming up with a weekly plan, coming up with a daily plan. All these things need to be done. You do not wait for it. After you create it, if you do not post it, no one sees it. And from what Nina has told us, if she had written about stamp collection or postcards, or she just told somebody about it, even if she put in a WhatsApp group, everybody will be like, what's this one saying about stamps? What's this one saying about this? But she found a unique hobby that she could put out there, and it made her get seen by the right people. Your people are out there. If you don't put yourself out there, no one will see you. You can't say everybody is doing makeup, I'm no longer interested in doing makeup. Everybody is cooking, I'm not going to cook again. Sisi Yemi cooks, Sisi Yemi does things, but she has put herself out there, and now she's one of the biggest brands on YouTube in Nigeria because she was consistent. But she started small. People will discover you when you start. People will discover you when you are consistent. Growth comes when we consistently share. Growth doesn't come when we don't share. We don't grow if we don't share. Nina started a business because she did a dissertation first. She shared something first. Then now she has created a business. But it started with sharing first. You learn what to do and what not to do by sharing. The mistakes you make will be corrected if you continue doing this, if you continue posting. So think about it. You learn what to do and what not to do when you share consistently. Share on your own terms. Please, by all means, protect yourself, promote yourself, but be security conscious to share on your own terms. That's the beautiful thing about social media. If you choose that I want to share every Monday, then by all means, share every Monday. You need to create time for what is important. Family time is important. Be authentic. Like with Nina, we did not say, we'll wait till the kids are asleep. I'm like, they're part of the conversation. Most people that listen to me have busy families. They will understand. They are part of it. Be authentic. Create time for what is important in your life. Don't say because I'm filming I will neglect other things. But plan in advance. Do not attempt to do all stages at once. Start one step at a time. The power of one helps you stay focused. I always say the power of one. The reason I do things in stages, like I said, every stage is for a different day or a different time of the day. The time I'm researching is not the time I'm designing. The time I'm researching for content is not the time I'm researching for content inspiration. They are two different things. When I am able to create a system that works for me, then I can create content. Until you find out what works for you, keep on trying. Don't stop. Keep trying until you find out what works for you. And the beautiful thing is, you will actually find out what works for you if you're consistent. But plan in advance. So, what's my parting word for you? I'm saying start posting now. Do not wait for the perfect time. The perfect time will never come. Share what you're passionate about, like Nena said. If you're not sure what to talk about the things you are passionate about on your own page. If you don't know what you're passionate about, share from your experiences. Even if you are new, talk about your success, your failure, and everything in between. Document your journey. You do not have to know everything. What you know is enough. And please, please, please do not stop. Do not post today and post tomorrow. Be consistent. Be consistent. So I've asked Nina to put the link to the course she talked about in the description bar, so that in the comment section, so that you can all have a link. But I will also ask BC or any other person that has the link to put the link there. Now, do we have any questions or feedback before I go? So what's happening now is I'm going on Instagram live with Nina in like 3 minutes for us to continue the conversation, and that is how we are cross promoting. We talked about promoting. You don't promote on only one platform, you cross promote on other platforms. So now we're on YouTube. We've talked about promoting what she has done. We're moving off to Instagram. When it comes to promoting, don't stick to one platform. Promote everywhere possible. Don't be afraid to share the passion that you have. Do not be afraid to sell yourself. I talked about having your hype gang, people that hype you on. Nina is part of the fund mastermind, a network of people that come together. Our first names that make up the fund, and we all support each other. So part of fund team is coming on board on Instagram live before we go and join Folakemi for our own session at 6 p.m. So do I have any questions or anything? If we don't have questions, remember office hours is at Tuesday by 7 p.m. During office hours, you're able to ask any questions you may have regarding content creation and what we've discussed today. I will share more about my Trello board and behind the scenes of how I get things done on Tuesday. Today was just telling you what I do. Because I said if I just showed you the trailer board, I had no intention of showing you first of all. But I realized that maybe it will give you inspiration of how you should create your own board. Today was just to tell you this is what I do and what you can do. I am not saying you must do what I do. I am saying get inspiration and create a system that works for you. What works for me may not work for you. But today has been amazing. I hope my strategy inspires you to create content. Don't stop creating, keep creating. Put yourself out there. And who knows who's going to find you tomorrow to come and help them host their events as well, Grace. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we will be back same time next week to talk about the content marathon. I'll be sharing more details about the content marathon. And I will also be talking to you on Tuesday. Sign up for the office hour. Office hours are important because that's where we are able to be more practical and answer questions. And it's not recorded for now. I may record in the future, but for now, I'm not recording office hours because there are intimate places where you can ask your questions and have your questions answered. It's on Zoom, it's free, but you have to register. So you register by going to the link in my bio on Instagram and just click on office hour. And I am off for my next conversation with Nina. All right, then, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we will catch up on Tuesday. Cheers. Bye.